watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Just wanted to say, if you came here, you are awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Mountain Goat Productions, bringing something different to YouTube. Make sure you tap back in. Leave me a goat emoji in the comments. Stamp it.
Mountain Goat Production is live.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Welcome, welcome. Temper, can you hear me all right? Just want to know that the StreamYard is working today. It's been giving me a bit of problem. Hello? Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. I wanted to do this live today. I don't know if you all know about this tragedy that happened in Crans, Montana, in Switzerland on New Year's Eve. There was a fire. A fire broke out in a basement in a nightclub, and 40, as far as I know at the moment, 40 young people have lost their lives, and 115 or more are in hospital. And it's such a tragedy. It's such a tragedy, and all of this could have been avoided. It's an absolute senseless thing that's happened. So I'm having some microphone issues. Stupid StreamYard. Stupid computer. Yeah, so when I was live New Year's Eve and calling out, ringing in the New Year's Eve for Switzerland, this tragedy was unfolding. And it's unbelievable. I've got some things to show, but I'll get into it. Yeah, so it was in a popular ski resort town in Switzerland, and it's really popular with tourists, and a lot of young kids were at this venue called Le Constellation, and a fire broke out in there. And so I'm struggling a little bit with this topic because it's so tragic. I can't believe it. Yeah, so when we were celebrating New Year's Eve on that live stream, this other thing was unfolding, and I don't even know where to start on this. I've been working on it for a couple of days, so What can I show you? Let me put this video up. Maybe we need to see a little bit of what happened, just to give it some context for the people that don't know. And thanks for coming. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, Temper. Thank you. Let me just sort this StreamYard out. I have no background music playing because I don't have anything appropriate. I didn't get that ready. Let me take this off the screen so I can show the video. Unless it's up there. Yeah, it's playing. Yeah, sorry about the fumbling about. It's just a bit stressful, this one today. Just trying to find what I've got on the screen. There we go. No, I'm having StreamYard malfunctioning today. Sorry about that. What is on the screen? I've got to take it off. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so this is a little bit graphic, but these are the things that happened that night. So this is the before. So that's what the little nightclub looked like underneath. So it had a maximum capacity of about 300 people, and we're unsure of the numbers at the moment. And there was no record of how many people were in there at this stage. So it's a little nightclub, and this is what happened inside. So they've got these what are they called? They're bottle. I can't even, hang on. I've actually got something here for it to show you. They're called, and they're a pretty popular thing, but they're not meant to be used indoors. Yeah, the sparklers are way too high, and the ceiling has got some acoustic coating on it that I believe is made out of polyethylene or polystyrene. Hey, Fluffy, thanks for joining us. And the ceiling, to me, in my opinion, looks quite low. I can't see any fire sprinklers or anything like that. I'll just keep playing here, and you'll see in a second that there's a person there that's a little bit higher than everyone else. And that's what she looks like from the front. And you'll see in a second how high she is to the ceiling. It'll zoom in. And as you can see there, the ceiling has become ignited by the sparkler. And those things burn really hot, and the stuff on the ceiling doesn't require much heat to ignite. And when that stuff ignites, it burns really quickly, and it drips hot, flaming drips. This is a promo. This is a little promo thing that the establishment made, to advertise New Year's Eve there. So you'll see how these things, the length that they burn. They get quite tall, and they're really close to the ceiling. They're super close to the ceiling, dangerously close. Now this is This is a bit graphic, but this is how it actually happened on the night. And you'll see how quickly this stuff ignited. And it's dripping. Those drips that are coming down are drips of fire. And the guy that's filming it, the guy who you can see with the mobile phone in his hand, I don't even think it's registering with him that it's real. Maybe he thinks it's a special effect of the night. I don't know, but it's not registering that he's in danger. Because he's still filming. So when that stuff ignites, toxic smoke happens immediately, and it burns like wildfires. I think it's called a flashover. As you can see, there's the flashover. It's just traveling with immense heat and speed, and they really had no time. They had no time to get out, and they're in a basement, right? Look at it, it's just dripping. And that's how quickly it happened. There was only one active exit, and that was the entry, and it was a small wooden staircase on the way in, and I don't think it was wide enough for 2 people. Yeah, no reaction time at all. And it's New Year's Eve. They're all I'll just tell you that, so in parts of Europe, the legal age for, going into a bar is 16, and a 16-year-old can purchase beer and wine, but not spirits. So there was a mixture of 16-year-olds, up to 25-year-olds in there, unfortunately. And like I said earlier, we don't know if it was filled to the maximum of 300 or if there were more than 300 people there. Yeah, it's horrific. It's horrific, Fluffy. But they couldn't get out. They couldn't get out. They were trapped in there. And this fire spread so quickly. There were no sprinklers that I could see. I've read that there were no fire extinguishers that anyone could see. And here's the staircase. And there was a crush effect happened on the staircase. Maybe someone fell over, and they couldn't get out. This is on the outside. They couldn't get out. They were stuck. They could not get away from that fire, quick enough. And yeah, I'll just play this. I can't remember what's there. So, yep, it was just mayhem. Absolute mayhem. So, I'll take this off. So these are some of the kids that are missing. The parents don't know whether they're here or not. They're having a lot of trouble identifying people. So the 40 people that are no longer with us, they're having trouble identifying them. That's how hot the fire was. And I believe, so my title of this is Fire Tragedy Explained, Fire Safety Failures, Bottle Sparklers, and Why Regulations Matter. Yeah, the families they're distraught. And a lot of the people that got out of there are distraught. They don't know if their friends, nobody knows anything. And they're actually bringing out experts from around the world who, I don't know if you remember, there was a tsunami in, I think it was 2012, in Banda Aceh, and the experts had to come in and identify people, and the same experts are coming in on this one. So it's going to take a long time. Families they're giving their DNA just in a hope of identifying their loved ones. So It's just horrific. It's just horrific. So coincidentally, the fire regulations in Switzerland are they're in the process of finalising a 10-year revamp of them, and they're going to be released on the 11th of January. The country it happened in Switzerland. But there's a lot of international kids that were over there, young teenagers, young adults from all over the world. Yeah, fire safety. I mean, we're in 2026. So let me get something else up here. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, I don't know what it's like in everyone else's country. I can only speak of what goes on in Australia, but we have fairly stringent, fire regulations. And I don't know if you've ever been to a nightclub where you've got bouncers on the door, you've got security on the door, and they've got a little clicker in their hand, and they're counting the amount of people that walk in. And the reason they're doing that is for capacity limits and fire safety, because if it's overcrowded, then you're breaking the fire regulations. It's illegal, right? So it's for your own safety that they've got that clicker. They click when people leave and they click when they come in. Yeah, you would have thought, yeah. Yep. Well, yeah. So these fire regulations that they're finalising, I was curious about it. I was wondering how strict they were and how good it all was. And then I did a comparison to around the world as to how long it takes to update them, and it does take a long time. It can take 10 to 12 years, right? So the process that they've got in place now is the 2015 fire regulations over there. But I'll just get this document up. I'm not doing this live to blame anyone for anything, but this could have been avoided. Oh, I've lost my document. Hang on. Yeah, it could have been avoided, and it's an incredible. It's an incredible tragedy that just it never had to happen. I'll just get this document up. Right. Yeah, share. All right. Okay. All right. Take your comment off. It's absolutely horrific. I mean, when we were all having a good time, I'm just going to take the comments off the stage too, so we can see this document. All right. So, yeah, I want to map out the visible failures to specific Swiss fire safety principles. Reference to BSV 2015, that's the one that's in place right now. VKF, AEAI concepts that are already enforceable. So this is what's currently, these are the regulations over there right now. So indoor pyrotechnics, bottle service sparklers, the requirements under the BSV 2015 principles, here it is. Open flame pyrotechnic effects require explicit approval. So at the moment, the owners, and the owner was present at the time, one of the owners was present at the time. She actually suffered some burns to her arms and she was hospitalised. But they're both saying, her and her husband are both saying that they took all the precautions, right? So if that is true, then they would have had to get explicit approval to use the pyrotechnics indoors. This is number one, right? And the manufacturer separation distances must be respected. And I think they're about 5 meters for those pyrotechnics. So they can't be used indoors at all. Combustible surroundings must be assessed. Like curtains, the the ceiling, whatever's around. The observed failure is the handheld pyrotechnic sparklers raised directly to a low ceiling. With the girl, the girl with the helmet on was a staff member, and she was on another person's shoulders, so she was up really high, but the ceiling looked quite low. So, and sparks clearly with ignition. Sparks, I don't even know what that says. Sparks clearly within ignition distance. Observed failure. Yeah, so the sparks were clearly within ignition distance to the ceiling. No visible fire marshal or controlled effect zone. So there's been a clear breach of the pyrotechnic use conditions there. The ceiling and acoustic materials, the requirements under the 2015 fire regulations in Switzerland, is that the interior finishes in assembly occupancies must meet reaction to fire limits. So those acoustic things that were on the ceiling, they can have a protective coating on them that make them fire retardant. And I think it's evident that there was no fire retardation on them at all. At all. Particular caution for basements. So this happened in a basement. Nightclubs and sound-absorbing materials, which is the stuff that was on the ceiling. Materials that melt, drip, and burn are highly restricted. So you can get that stuff and put it on the ceiling, but it costs a lot of money. So, if the cheaper version was used, then this is part of the failure. Observed failure, ceiling ignites rapidly, produces burning molten droplets. Fire spreads laterally across the ceiling. Laterally, so it just expands left, right. Yep, indicates non-compliant or improperly treated material. Let's come back and have a look. Make sure you can all hear me. Can you hear me all right? Yeah, it appears that way, but we'll see what the outcome of this is with the investigation. So it's just mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing. I don't understand. I don't understand in this day and age, but we'll get back to this. So the means of escape, the requirements are assembly venues require multiple independent exits, a minimum stair widths, basement exits protected from smoke spread. So I think somebody had to break down a door out the back of the venue that was maybe locked, possibly locked, allegedly. I don't know for sure. But, to get, maybe 300 people out of somewhere all at once, and all they've got is a skinny exit, it was a disaster waiting to happen, in my opinion. Observed failure, single narrow staircase, one person width, basement configuration. Yeah, the evacuation geometry alone is unsafe. Fire suppression sprinklers. The requirement is that sprinklers required or strongly recommended based on the occupancy load, the basement depth, the interior finishes, and fire growth potential. So I looked at some of the pictures, before the fire, and I don't see them. I don't see them there. But I'm not an expert in the field. This is just what I've observed. The observed failure, no sprinkler, no visible sprinkler activation. So even if there were sprinklers in there, they didn't activate. Clearly, they didn't. And the ceiling fire develops unchecked. They're either not installed, not required under older thresholds, or not operational. Occupancy control. The requirement is maximum occupancy must be calculated, posted, and enforced. So I don't know if you've ever been to a venue where it's got a maximum capacity, signage somewhere, and that's to do with fire regulation. So I don't know if it was posted. I don't know if it was enforced. It looks like it wasn't enforced. It was New Year's Eve. The observed failure was crowd density extremely high. Excuse me, movement restricted even before panic. So a lot of witnesses have said that were in there that got out that they felt it was tightly packed in there. So likely overcrowding never permitted. Where's the rest of it? Yeah. So, it's just it's a complete disgrace. Well, yeah, so the owners they came from Corsica, and they'd been there for quite a long time, and they'd established a few other. They had a restaurant here, and they had the club, and I think they had one other thing. So the husband, he was at the other venue, and the wife was at this one. So I don't know what was going on at the third one. I think that was in another town. But people are missing. Yeah, yeah. Well, only one that was available. Yeah. So apparently they had been checked. It had been visited and inspected at least 3 times, I believe. So but how stringent that was, I don't know. But it was just a disaster waiting to happen. I'm just trying to get some more stuff for you that I looked up. I just read out. All right. Yeah, I'll put this up. So this has happened before. Yeah, this tragedy wasn't caused by one mistake. It was caused by multiple safety systems failing at the same time. Real pyrotechnic bottle sparklers were used under a low ceiling. The ceiling material ignited and melted, dripping burning material. There was only one narrow staircase exit from a basement. Sprinklers either weren't installed or didn't activate, and the venue appears to have been overcrowded. Fire regulations are designed so that if one layer fails, others prevent disaster. Here too, many layers were missing or ignored, and that's why the outcome was so severe, right? So this has happened before. I'll share this. And that's why there's no excuse for it, because it's happened before, right? All right. Sorry if I'm not getting to your comments. We can have a chat about it after this. So, yeah, I wanted to get a comparison, to see if this has happened before and and what the outcome was. So comparison to past nightclub fires, and this is why the rules exist, right? This is really, really important, and I don't understand why it's been ignored or how any of this happened. But this incident tragically follows a well-documented pattern seen in previous disasters. So here we go. In 2003, the Station nightclub fire in the US, there were indoor pyrotechnics, flammable acoustic foam, rapid ceiling ignition, toxic smoke, narrow exits, and 100 people lost their lives in that one. So that's in 2003. We're in 2026 now. The collective club fire in Romania in 2015. So that's 11 years ago. Pyrotechnics indoors, flammable ceiling materials, single effective exit, overcrowding. 64 people lost their lives in that one. The Kiss nightclub fire in Brazil in 2013. Indoor effects, polyurethane foam ceiling, burning droplets, basement-like conditions, exit congestion. 242 people lost their lives. This just should never have happened. What changed because of those fires? Modern fire codes. Modern fire codes is what changed, including the BSV 2026, which is the Swiss one, which is going to come out on the 11th. So all of these things will be updated in that. And then they now heavily focus on ceiling material behaviour, not just ignition, indoor effects approval, crowd density risk, basement evacuation modelling, faster fire growth assumptions. The Swiss tragedy described fits exactly the historical profile that led to those reforms. This should never have happened. Yeah, this was not unpredictable. It was preventable. And the rules that feel strict today exist because this exact scenario has killed people before. So, you know, I don't know. I'm just at a loss for words, you know. Put the comments back up. I seriously am at a loss for words. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, and in that village where this happened, everything's made of wood and it's quite old. So that was a renovation in that nightclub, and the renovation works are going to be inspected. But wood fire. Yeah. Yep. All right. Hang on. I'll see if I can get another picture up. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. For sure. For sure. So, yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, I'm going to put a bit of background noise on now. Now I got through the hard bit there. I'm just trying to get a picture to show you. Oh no, I'm going to play a bit of a news report too. So this is an Aussie news report. For fair use. I'll put that banner up too. Right. Let me see here. Okay, thank you. All right. Where's the music? Yep, this shouldn't happen for us to learn. I mean, it's already all happened before. Like, this should never have happened. Never. And I hope it never happens ever again. But, you know, this is just a warning. Like, it's a warning. Tell your kids if they go to a nightclub to make sure that they know where the exits are, to look up to the ceiling to make sure there's some sprinklers there. I mean, if it's too crowded, you know, say to them, maybe you should leave. It's not safe if it's crowded, if something goes wrong. And you don't think of these things when you're a kid and you go out and you're out there to have fun, you know. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the innocent. That's right. And Fluffy, we're not going to get any answers for quite a while because they're going to be waiting on DNA results just to identify unidentified people, unidentifiable. Yeah. Yep. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this is investigated and what the outcome is. But I just want to put a picture up. It's just unbelievable. And I mean, what a tragic start to the year. And there's lots of other things that have happened. I haven't caught up on everything, but, you know. Let me see here. All right. Exactly. You're not thinking about things like that. No, that's right. That's right. But when I would go out to nightclubs, I'd get nervous if there were too many people in there, especially if it was, you know, low ceilings, and because I've been in a few places where the ceiling's a bit low, and, you know, when you're out having a good time, it is hard to think of, you know, everything, especially when you're young. There's no words. That's Fluffy. It was very hard for me to put this together and look at everything and look into everything, and it was really difficult. I was really stressed out about it. So, because I can't imagine what they're going through. I'll take the comments off for a sec. So, this is the setup. This is the setup of the venue. So, as you can see, there's a slim staircase at number 1. Very small. It's very small in there. That looks like a small venue to me to put a lot of 300 people in. That's like shoulder to shoulder. So yeah, single exit. Many of the deceased are believed to have perished in the crush to get up the single staircase to the exit. This is the tragedy, that they didn't have far to go to get out, but they couldn't get out. A waiter holding a sparkler in a champagne bottle is believed to have started the blaze by setting fire to the ceiling. Yep, so that happened over there at number 2. Foam padding. Video shows foam padding on the roof, on the ceiling of the bar, rapidly catching fire as the the blaze spreads. Wood panelling. Wood panelling is believed to have intensified the blaze alongside foam furniture. Wow. Yeah, and exactly, Temper. And that acoustic paneling on the ceiling, when it ignited, it toxic fumes and smoke and black smoke straight away, like worse than just wood burning. Yeah, mass panic. Mass panic. I'll show you the video again. Yeah, you could be right. You could be right, Fluffy. Where's my video? Go on, here it is. I'll get that back up there. Just have another look at this video because it's just come on. Come on, get on the stage. What is going on? StreamYard. Sorry, having a technical difficulty. Don't know if StreamYard's jammed on me. Right, here we go. We'll go from the start. Come on, StreamYard. Mm-hmm. Yep. Look how quickly that fire spread. And you can see it dripping. It reminds me of that one concert that I went to where the end of the trampoline on there was over capacity. Sorry, StreamYard's being a bit slow to respond to me. Sorry. I'm going to get a news report up. Yeah. It sure does. What is going on here? All right. All right. Let me just get a banner up for this. Stage. Come on, man. Sorry, StreamYard's been a bit slow. All right. So this is a news report from Australia on under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use, fair use. We're definitely doing commentary. But I might need we might need to look like this. 1 second. Yep, we're going to even look like this. There we go. Sorry, that's as big as I'm going to make that. Let me know if you can hear
the families of those missing after the deadly fire at a bar in a Swiss ski resort are desperately waiting for news, but I
Letitia Brodard Sitter holds a photo of her son taken 2 hours before he left for the bar.
Donc si vous l'avez vu dans les hôpitaux.
If you have seen him in hospitals, if you have seen him in the morning.
I'm just pausing it for fair use. This is very confronting. I hope you guys can hear it. It's incredibly confronting, and I can't imagine what the parents are feeling. I can't. It's just it's an unbelievable tragedy that they will have to wait weeks and weeks for to find out what's happened to their children.
To tell ourselves that we'll live without our children. Friends too.
Maybe ask you because we don't know.
To your mom, that
not to go there because she had a headache, and so she is very lucky.
So just because she had a headache, she didn't go in that night?
Yes, just before.
It's I'm at a loss for words. I seriously am. It's very upsetting, this.
Australian Yaron Lavi was on his way, but made a detour to get a drink of water.
It would have been me, because if I went a bit earlier, I would have probably been in the same state. So it's very, very shocking to learn that kids my age are in this state.
The 17-year-old moved from Melbourne to Switzerland in 2019 and had multiple groups of friends.
Sick of them being missing, and then I've still got a few.
The owners of the bar are well known in Cron, Montana. Husband and wife, Jacques and Jessica Moretti. Jessica was there and escaped with burns. Both was inspected 3 times in 10 years.
There you go. It was inspected 3 times in 10 years. So there were inspections done, and I can't even comprehend, what the desired outcome is from this. But the reason I'm doing this live stream is to highlight the fire safety, why fire safety regulations matter, They're so important. I mean, you don't expect to go out on New Year's Eve and that's it, That's it. It's so important. I just this had better not happen again. I don't know how we can get the word out, but it's just senseless.
Ces chiffres sont bouleversants.
That will, of course, be the focus for investigators, particularly the presence of foam cladding on the basement ceiling suspected of being the main accelerant. Also in question whether these sparklers, now thought to be the cause of the fire, should have been allowed inside. The most immediate priority, though, is identifying the dead. Many of the burns so severe and DNA samples from relatives must be used. National experts who help.
Thanks, Fluffy. I mean, this is just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, I haven't watched any news for a while, so Dragon X brought this to my attention, and the more I looked into it, the more I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. This should never happen again. It should never happen again. I mean, we're in 2026. So I'm just trying to get another photo to show you all. And I made a song to, to commemorate the victims. Sorry. Okay. All right. And I have I'll wrap this up soon. It's almost been an hour. I can't believe it. And I have some final words here. I just want to read out. I just wanted to bring awareness to this. It's such a big tragedy, and there's 115 people in hospital, and more people may sadly lose their life. So there's no guarantee for them, and that burns victims have to have very specific treatment, and they've been sent overseas. They've been sent to Belgium. I can't remember where else they went. Romania. Yeah, they need a real sterile environment. They need a lot of care. They need a lot of expertise to help them through. So, yeah. So before we finish, I want to pause and acknowledge the real reason this conversation matters. 40 people lost their lives. They were friends, family members, partners, real human beings who went out to celebrate and never came home. This isn't about blame for entertainment, and it isn't about outrage. It's about understanding how tragedies like this happen so that they don't happen again. Fire safety rules aren't written in ink, they're written in lives. Every regulation exists because somewhere at some point people paid the price. This is what we're witnessing right now. Tonight we honour the victims by remembering them, by telling the truth carefully, and by refusing to let lessons be forgotten. My thoughts are with the families, the injured, and everyone affected by this tragedy. May the victims be remembered with dignity, and may their loss lead to safer spaces for everyone. I don't know what else I can say. Hey, Kiki Eyes. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, that's my little bringing awareness to this situation, to the victims of the Constel fire tragedy, the tragedy that could have been avoided should have never happened. It should have never happened. Never, ever. So before I play the song, does anyone want to come up? Does anyone want to come up and, I don't know, say a few words? Yeah, prayers for the family and friends, for sure. It's, hi, Archangel. Yeah, terribly sad. Incredibly sad. So we'll see, prayers for the victims that are in hospital, being treated and recovering. Yeah. My heart goes out to the parents who don't know what's happened to their children, or who've lost their children. It's a complete tragedy that should have been avoided. So, if anyone wants to come up, they can. I'll drop the link. You don't have to. I'll put it in there. Sorry if you were having a live that I've interrupted, Archangel. I appreciate your coming, and I think we'll end with a song if anyone doesn't want to pop up. And thank you for turning up, and thank you for your kind thoughts and prayers. All right, I'm going to play this song. This song is called Hearts on Fire.
They picked their clothes in the mirror, said I won't be late tonight. Left the room still warm with living, chasing music, chasing light. Someone texted I'm inside now. Someone said I'll see you soon. Nobody knew the ceiling would turn into a falling moon. footsteps that don't reach the door. Every future paused forever on a midnight basement floor. Now my heart's on fire, but it's breaking. For the smiles frozen in time, for the ones who dance not knowing they were saying their last goodbye. The heart's on fire, feel it ache for the love they left behind. If heaven heard the music stop, it was 40 hearts at once in the night. Someone was a sister, someone was a son, someone was a promise that tomorrow never got to become. Friends still hold their jackets, family still hear the names. Photos don't know what happened, they still smile the same. Every empty chair at breakfast, every bed that stays untouched. There's no language strong enough for how much is gone, how much is love. Now my heart's on fire, but it's breaking. For the laughter cut off mid-song, for the ones who ran toward the exit and never got that far along. The heart's on fire, let it burn, not in anger, not in blame, but in memory, in mercy, so the world remembers their names. They were more than a moment, more than smoke and flame. They were plans and voices and someone calling their name. Hold them gently, say them slow. They were here, they matter, they were loved. We know the heart's on fire, carry the light for every soul we couldn't save. Build tomorrow softer, safer in the echo of their names. The heart's on fire, stay awake, let the truth outlive the night. They didn't fade into the dark, they became the reason we protect light. 40 lights still burning if we choose to see.
Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. That was very difficult. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Prayers to the victims of the Constel fire tragedy. Thank you for coming. Thanks, Temper. Thanks, Whipbird. Thank you, Kiki Eyes. Thank you, Fluffy. Thank you, Archangel. Thank you, Temper. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you for coming. And thank you to whoever is going to watch this. And please let your kids know, just let them know. Bye. Bye for now. Thank you.
Mountain Goat Productions, bringing something different to you.
Please like, share, and subscribe to Mountain Goat Productions.